Alright, a wonderful good day everybody and welcome back here to my channel, God Shadow. And let me explain, before you switch off, let me explain. So after last week's Friday's 5-0, I didn't play another league, but I did want to play the Modern Challenge on Saturday, which was simultaneously to a football match that I also wanted to watch, so I decided to take a deck that I thought was positioned pretty well in the meta, and especially against all these Oko and Eldrazi Tron decks. And so I decided to go with Red-Green Titan Breach, a deck that I had to buy because I didn't have the cards to play it. It was actually quite expensive, but nonetheless, I ended up 5-2, and which was on tiebreakers with the 8th spot, and I finished at 14th. So with a little bit better tiebreakers, I would have made top 8. But it was a fine league. I did not play any Oko decks though. I played 4 times Grixis Death Shadow, 1 time Dredge, 1 time Burn, and 1 time Humans. Yeah, those were the 7 rounds, I think. I lost to Dredge and 1 time to Grixis Death Shadow. Overall, I think the deck performed pretty well. I'm not really happy with the Mvuli Acid Moss here. This could be a variety of other things. I tried Solemn Simulacrum in this spot. Wood Elves feels the most organic. Although, on the other hand, with Wood Elves in the mix, we don't have the ability to like race maybe Amulet Titan or the Mirror Match. And Mvuli Acid Moss gives us a little bit of utility there. So I decided to switch back here to Mvuli Acid Moss and a Woodfall Primus. There's not a whole lot of Blood Moons going around, but just in case, then Woodfall Primus is pretty good. I can also just sometimes screw them mana-wise, and yeah. So people, after seeing me in the Modern Challenge dump on Tuesday, I think, people asked me why I was playing Explore over Farseek and the likes. And the reason is that, in contrast to the Titan Shift deck, in this deck I actually want to find both pieces of Through the Breach, Primeval Titan, Summoner's Pact, and enough mana, so the later the game, the worse become ramp spells, and therefore I just want to get land cards out of my hand onto the battlefield and then draw non-land cards, which just makes the deck smaller and yeah, lets me find the combo more reliably. So I was pretty fine with this lineup. I also played a couple of leagues, I think 4 leagues. I played 4-1 3 times and 3-2 1 time, I think. Yeah. So 15 and 5. Yeah, that sounds about right. Then sideboard. So for the most part, aggressive decks are a problem for this deck, and therefore I actually played a lot of life game spells. One could be playing more Balofs here and cut the Molten Rains, especially once we're playing Mvuli Acid Moss in the main board already. I'm not 100% sure about that. Weather the Storm I'm not really happy with because it doesn't have board impact. It gets you a little bit of life, but Pulse of Muraza could actually be the best option here. And Dragonlord Ataka here for 7 mana. It's actually a mana cost CMC that is pretty reasonable, and when it hits the battlefield, It really punches hard. Lets us get rid of a lot of small creatures, planeswalkers, whatever. And so I like to have that as well. Another option would of course be something of the likes of Haunted Queen. And I was also in between playing 3 Huntmaster of the Fells, which actually won me a game as well. So that is also an option, which I'm not... Well, maybe... Yeah, let's just go with Huntmasters here. Alright, and then we're join a league. Right, the last league here was 3-2. Yeah, overall, I mean, the deck doesn't require a whole lot of skill. But at least the games are fast, I guess. And I think it's also part of adjusting to the meta. Like, not that I... Alright, pretty good hand so far. I'm gonna keep this. Start off with the Wooded Foothills. Only shock it if I really need to. Like killing a Hedron Crab or whatever to buy us enough time, and then if we hit another ram spell here, we should be ready at turn 3 or 4. Like turn 3 if we hit a Siemens Spirit Guide and land on the top. It's Death Shadow, which overall is really not the best matchup for us. Okay. This doesn't seem like Death Shadow. Maybe it is Living End? Because Death Shadow would never be playing Blooming Marsh. Alright, this is alright. We have the mana for Through the Breach already. Also Sakura Tribe Elder would come back. Yeah. Alright. We're playing Living End. So we have to be a little bit careful about Fulminator Mages. But it's actually quite good. Like, if we get the Through the Breach Primeval Titan out next turn, well, before he can cast the ultimate here. Alright. Let's see. It's going to be a close one. And I think it all comes down to... I'm also going to go and Lightning Bolt him. End of turn. I think it all comes down to a Fulminator Mage here. If he has one, then we really have a problem. And probably can't go around it. But if he has a Fulminator Mage, then he can't combo off here. And we might have another turn. Also, we'll get the Sakura Tribe Elder, of course. Yeah, I think he's thinking about it. Yeah, that is probably Fulminator Mage. Alright. So of course we could also go Mbuli Acid Moss here. But I think since the Primeval Titan will definitely win us the game once he ulties or combos off, this should be alright. So we got 4 right now, so I'm gonna fetch for double. So what you always want to have is 4 mountains in play, 1 forest, and then search for double Valakut, and then double Mountain, so that you get 4 triggers. In this case, of course, Fulminator Mage will be a little bit of a hindrance, but he won't be able to block, so he'll have to do stuff right now. And then I don't think that our opponent can actually multi a combo off here without killing himself. Yeah, I should probably get another Valakut here so that if he combos or shouldn't I? I probably should. Yeah. Because now these two will deal at least 6 to 12 damage, and then Lightning Bolt is also lethal. Now, what are you gonna do, friend? Also not sure. I should probably go with the snow-covered forest mountain first, just in case we force him to act in response to the Vulias and Moss. Yeah, but that shouldn't save you, I think. Yeah. Alright. Cool. So this one goes, I want to have these two. Anger of the Gods, not really great because our opponent's creatures are all so fucking big. Lightning Bolt's probably also just plain dead here. I think I'm gonna go Veil of Summer just to counter the Fulminator Mage if possible. And then another big one. Plus, or just go with the Obstinate Baloth. But the Baloth will only buy us a little bit of time. Let's go with this. Oh. It's possible that our opponent has some sort of Thoughtseize effect or whatever. Yep. Our opponent's on a mulligan. We have 2 redraws. I think I'm gonna keep this. It's very land heavy, of course, but if our opponent's banking on Fulminator Mages to win in the game here, then that's still fine. It might be a little bit too slow. But we shall see. Tapped. I think I'm just gonna go with Cinderglades here. Alright, we have a Simian Spirit Guide, so we can ramp 2 times here. Alright, we're flooding out a little bit. Now we need 2 good cards. But our opponent didn't cycle anything, so I'm a little bit surprised on what he's doing here. It's possible that he's just... Beast? I think this might be Beast Within. Field of the Dead. So... Field... And a Stomping Ground, I think. Lol. Alright. Weird game. Let's move on to round number 2. Alright, welcome back to round number 2. After a good start here. And I think our opponent just boarded out the Living Ants. Which is reasonable because I cannot win once I have a Titan in the bin. But I think you still have to go for the combo. Also, really weird, with this deck I'm basically always on the play. Whereas with Grixis, I'm basically never on the play. So I don't know if there's some hidden algorithm in there. But it's weird. Alright, with this hand, we can also turn 4 Titan. If we get it through the breach, or we can even turn 3 Titan. No, we can't turn 3 Titan. That is not correct. Would have to get a Spirit Guide as well. Alright, Crabvine. Really, really nasty. Already has a Gravecrawler here. It's possible that I have to go after the Stitcher. Let's see how long we can stay alive here. This might either be a double zombie or... Alright, that is Glimpse. Two Vengevines in the bin. So we could keep the Sakura Tribe Elder alive here for next turn because I want to survive and there are 2 Vengevines plus something else. So I think I'm gonna take the hit here since we can't go off next turn anyway. But then the turn after we have everything we need. And I guess we keep the Lightning Bolt just in case the there's another Vengevine coming, or otherwise we just hit him in the head. Carrion Feeder is super annoying. What the fuck is Conspire? Yeah, this is not looking good. But actually now I'm going to go after the Carrion Feeder. I think this might have been a mistake by our opponent. Because now we cannot Gravecrawler from the graveyard and has to have another like something in hand. Yeah, that was actually quite fortunate here. Yeah, still have to go for it. So this and I'm gonna have 4 again, so if I go with 2 Valakutes and I have 3 Valakutes in hand, so this should be alright. Could also go with the Woodfall Promise here. No, it's 1 mana too much. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take a couple of blockers here. And a Valakut, because next turn we should be able to kill him this way or that way, and this way he should not be able to kill us. Yep. Got him. Alright, again, these are all really bad. As I said, that's why I'm not really happy with them. Angers, good here. Lightning Bolts are also pretty alright. Could be thinking about Veil as well. Or a Baloth, but I think we're good as is. Yeah, since we're on the draw, I'm just gonna cut a relic here. Alright, we have a relic, we have a Sakura Tribolder. It's pretty slow, but I hope it's gonna work out. Oh shit. Alright, so he has to have an insane turn 2 here and already get that all onto the battlefield. Sadly, we don't have a Simon Spirit Guide, otherwise he could just... but he still has to play around it, I guess. Although, he doesn't know that we're playing one. So for him, we might also just be... Yeah, worst possible hit there for us. Now he's got a lot of damage here on the battlefield already, and if he hits Vengevine as well, then we're just plain dead. There's a Vengevine, we dead. That's why I wanted, didn't want to have too many relics on the draw here. Another couple of Narcomoebas. So really hoping for Anger of the Gods. So I guess we are gonna go with Syndic here. Tapped. Then next turn we have Sakura Tribalder, but it's also slow. That's not really slow, our opponent just had pretty good hit here. It has to cast Gravecrawler here, I think. Yep. Alright, we're just gonna do it now to prevent further shenanigans. And the Valakut probably also too slow. Yeah, I'm sure I've probably just waited a little longer. This is just not looking good. Yep, basically dead on turn 2. Alright, so this time around we're bringing in another relic here. And I think I'm gonna cut Explore. Yep. We need the bolts to kill carrion feeders. This is a reasonable hand. Pretty defensive, but potentially can draw into stuff. So basic here, then snow-covered mountain, then Cinderglade, and we have everything that we need. So everything but a fucking carrion feeder. And he can have whatever he wants. And we're already off. Yeah, alright, I'm just gonna do it now. Before bad things happen. Just need to buy time here. So are we gonna be greedy and wait for another turn? But he's playing Thought Seizes, so that could just go really bad. On the other hand, though, if he hits stuff, then we can't defend ourselves anymore. If he has a carrion feeder, then we're also fucked. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go with the anger here. This way we don't have a Titan this turn, should we draw one, but the turn after. Alright, yeah, so exactly what I... Yeah, and a carrion feeder, so I'm really happy that I did those plays the way I did. And if we lose now, that's fine, because our opponent's deck is just... Well, this is also fucked. Hopefully something. Now we only need a Pact or a Titan. And that's just gonna grow the carrion feeder here, I guess. We'll take them a couple more turns to kill us, but now carrion feeder is out of bolt range, so we need to really combo off here. Should we hit something though, then our opponent's just... I'm gonna wait one turn. Just in case he's also drawing a Thoughtseize or something. So this is gonna be 7 damage, which means next turn we're definitely dead, shouldn't we draw anything. Alright. There we go. So this is 4. I'm gonna go Breach, then Titan, double Valakut, attack for lethal. And should you have something for 1 Valakut here, then the Cinderglade is still gonna be lethal. I know you can also auto yield here, but sometimes it's just... Oh no, I think you have to do it before you put it on the stack. Otherwise it just doesn't work. Alright, another win, another round. Let's go to round number 3. Alright, welcome back to round number 3, everybody. So we're already punished to greedy, non-interactive graveyard strategies, which makes me very happy and fuzzy inside. I guess it's reasonable to play Surgical Extraction in the sideboard. Or Ravenous Trap. Maybe Ravenous Trap's actually better for these kinds of matchups. See? We're on the play again. Oh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it on the back of Sakura Tribe Elder and Cemetery Guide together. And us only needing to get to 5 here. This makes life more difficult, because this time we're actually playing against... Well, it could also be Urza. Okay. Well... Next turn we already have Through the Breach ready here. If we go with a Tribe Elder, and I think we should, right? Let's go with an Oko. Then Woodfall Primus can take of the Oko, can take care of the Oko. It's not super great that we have a Woodfall Primus here instead of a Primeval Titan, but I hope we can manage. If we draw another land, we could also just go after his lands, kill the Gilded Goose. Sword of the Meek. So I actually wonder how the interaction is here. He could have Metallic Rebuke here. I just don't know how they have to pay for the rebuke. Could they, like, yeah, probably they can stack it in that matter, in that way. Alright, I think I'm just gonna kill the goose here, because what I think mechanically they can do is, for Metallic Rebuke, tap, then sack the food token to pay the mana. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. Okay, that didn't seem like there was anything in the bushes, but that's fine. Hmm. Well, can't play around it anymore. Which is not great, but we're gonna go after both of his colorful mana sources, so that he's just left with blue. And this is why Woodfall Prime is like, which sometimes it's just not good enough. So this is 5. I think he's keeping open a cryptic here. Potentially. No! Fuck my life. And this is a Thopter's Foundry, and then we're dead. Yep. Could we have prevented that? Well, like, we would have killed one, but then the Astrolabe would have still made the second one. No, then he wouldn't have had the mana for that to actually function. Yep. Woeful Primus, thanks for nothing. Wanna have these. So there's the case for Emery and Gilded Goose. Alright. Since we have a pretty slow hand, I think I'm just gonna ditch the Summoners Pact here. Lord. Sure. Of course, this makes things more difficult, but not impossible, since we also have Field of the Dead, so... this breach. Now we only need a couple of lands. Sword of the Meek. Still gonna go after in the Stoneforge here, although it's not really great benefit here. Of course. I think I'm just gonna Veil here. To draw, yeah, hopefully more lands. Well, the Sword of the Meek is already in your hand, so yeah, can only mill good stuff. Nice Fang Wall. Sure. Quaddle has Death Touch, not yet. Come on, man. So I'm gonna kill the Gilded Goose here, just because I don't want him to play an Urza. Come on. Just need a fucking land, man. Although I strongly believe that our opponent does have some sort of counter magic. And we also won't survive another turn, so kinda need to draw something. Okay, no blue or black spells, so we cannot even use Veil of Summer here. Draw lands, please. Oh, darn. Okay. That was major unlucky. Let's jump into round number 4. Alright, welcome back in round number 4 here. And as promised, it's a pretty fast league, I think. Not a whole lot to play with. It's Tron. Green Tron, nonetheless. Alright, we need one more land here. Hopefully. Otherwise we could really have a problem. Especially if like a Karn comes down and goes after our land. So I think I'm gonna wait with the Sakura Tribuilder. Of course it's very small, the percentage that we gain there. But we're dealing a damage and we potentially just actually maybe shouldn't be doing that just because of Summon Spirit Guide. Got the land, but no Summon Spirit Guide. Yeah, and now it comes all comes down to what he's actually going to play. Big Karn is definitely going to be a problem. Small Karn, probably not so much. Alright, he's thinking about it. So maybe he doesn't have a Karn in hand. We could of course summon his pact for Alright, so this means there's no Karn coming. Wormcoil Engine. Thragtusk. Well, that is not a problem whatsoever. So I think in this case so he would have to have another tower to play in Ulamog next turn. That would probably be problematic, but at that point we already have so much mana in play. So I think I'm just gonna go through the Breach Primeval Titan and then next turn summon his pact and finish the job. That shouldn't be a whole lot that he can do. Is it even worth it to target the Thragtusk? I don't think so. So we get 4 mountains in play again. So double Valakut. And then double Stomping Grounds. Next turn, another Primeval Titan and GG's. Although in this case, I think I'm actually going to go with another Valakut here and a Stomping Ground as well. That's only 3 triggers instead of 4, but we can, Oh yeah, shit. That was... Whoa. That was a big mistake. That wasn't good. Darn. Still gonna be lethal, but unless he has another tower and... Can go with the lattice here. But still, that was not intended. No way. No way. No way. Oh, you got to be kidding me, man. You got to be kidding me. Yeah. Alright. We'll go cutting all of this. Collect the roof in. Braids in. I mean, it wouldn't have changed anything. Like, we would have dealt 9 damage, but would have still lost there. But overall, this should be a reasonably good matchup, especially because we are playing Woodford Primus and Wooly main. And now we'll also have access to Collector Roof and the Braid. I could also see myself boarding in Dragon Lord Atorka just to kill that Karn. But that's something for the draw. You're on the play, I just want to go fast and simple. Alright, let's keep. So if we draw one more land, then we'd have a turn 3 with the breach. Of course, need a Titan as well. Alright. Since we already have the Through the Breach ready here, I'm not waiting till next turn, which we could of course also just do. Stirrings. Finding a tower there. Alright, come on deck. I need one of our bazillion threads. Ah, sure. Thragtusk again? Lol. Come on deck, anything. Anything. Can't lose against Tron here. Like, Tron and Urza are actually two pretty good matchups. What are you doing, man? At this point, it's not looking good anymore. Probably have one more turn to find something. Then it's just over. I mean, we have 9 very good hits. 11 if we count the yeah, don't care about that whatsoever. I guess there's no more common. Alright, next turn. Alright. We still have everything that we need, but we can't deal 25 damage here with 18. This is gonna be 8. Does that change anything? I mean, yeah, walking ballista off the top is lethal, or of course, but I think otherwise doesn't make a difference. This time I should be fetching 2 mountains. Yeah, I'm going all in here. We're not dead on board, and Ulamog is probably going to go after both Valakuts here. So any additional Primeval Titan must be lethal. But at this point, I'm not super optimistic that we're going to win this. Need some luck. Come on, deck. We had 7 hits. Oh, lord. Whew. Primeval Titan. Alright, that was pretty lucky. Although it was also pretty unfortunate in the beginning that we didn't hit anything. But yeah, overall I think I'm pretty good with that. And I think we're also keeping the main board here as is. Of course we could go with a lightning bolt because of the Karn, but a braid should serve as an out to a lattice. So let's see if we can win this on the draw. Yeah. This is turn 3. That's the fastest that we can go. Turn 2 is close to impossible unless we draw another Summon Spirit Guide. But our opponent's on a mulligan to 3, so potentially we'll get there. Okay. That was the case, was it? Yeah, if he was looking for this one all the time, and that's out here, but we still have our really good other cards. Like, we don't need to go with the Titan turn 3. Well, if you had natural Tron there off the top, that would be unfortunate, of course. Okay. Here I actually want to go with another mountain. That is also something else. No, 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 no! Oh my goodness. I fucked it up. I really fucked it up again. Oh my god. I, of course, should have summoned packed it before. Yeah. Never mind. So, snow covered this, and also that. Right. So that Field of Ruin, Field of the Dead here triggers, and we have enough mana for the thing next turn. Alright, so I'm not playing this very well, but still, 3-1.